and welcome back to Science and Math Topics from OTC. My name is Paul Eric, and today's math topic is to learn how to use Microsoft Paint. And you can make pictures in Microsoft Paint, but what we're going to be doing is importing a image from the internet onto Microsoft Paint, and then we're going to modify it. So let's begin by finding an image on the internet. So if you know me, you know that I really like Star Trek. But just to show that I'm fair, I'm going to show you something from Star Wars. So this is the Death Star. And so I'm going to make a copy of this image here. And so I'm going to do a right click on it and then copy image. Okay, so now I'm finished with this and I can put this away. And I'm going to go to Microsoft Paint. So down here you have the Windows icon. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to type the word paint. Don't even have to really get started on it because I just put down P and it went to paint there, but you can type out the word paint. And we're going to click on that. And so here is Microsoft Paint. And now I'm going to put the cursor in here and then do a Control V. So we're going to paste the image in here. Okay, now you might notice that that's a little big, so we can scrunch that down. We can also, down here at the bottom, we can control how we could also scrunch it, so that's maybe something that's more usable. You can also click on these buttons to enlarge it. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I want to do with it. Okay, now this is my work area over here, and you see that I really don't have enough work area to be able to do what I want with this. So I'm going to grab this corner here and I'm going to pull it down a little bit, and then I'll do the same thing up here. I'll grab this and then raise it a little bit. Okay, so now I've got a larger work area, and you can make that work area as big as you want. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you some things that you can do with Microsoft Paint. And the first thing is that you can draw lines with it. Now the lines tool is not visible on here, so what I need to do is make this a little bit larger. Okay, now do you see this up here? These are all the different things that you can make with it. So if you click on this box, which is the rectangle box, then you can make a rectangle. Okay, so sometimes that's going to be useful. Okay, now if you want to, to get rid of that, so let's say I didn't want to make a box. Okay, now I'm going to go over here, and you see this. So this is going to be a tool for moving things around. And so I can make and now I can take this thing and I can move it anywhere that I want. But I really don't even want it, so I'm going to get rid of it. So I'm going to then, let's see, I need to delete it. So click on there, and then it goes away. Okay, so that's something that you could draw, and you can see you can make triangles and circles and all sorts of things here. But the thing I'm interested in is a line. So I'm going to click on line right there, and then over here, if you click on that, then you can select what thickness of line that you want to use, but we're not going to mess with that. Now something though that is very useful is changing the color of the line. So you see it's making, let me just do one here. So it's going to make a black line, but let's say that I don't really want that, and I want to have a red line. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this again. Don't want it, so I'm going to delete it. But let's say that I want to have a red line. So I'm going to click on my line tool. Okay, then I'm going to click on the color red. Okay, and now it's going to make me a red line. And so I'm going to make a red line that goes from right here out to, let's say, here. All right, and now because that red line is pointing to the top part of the weapon system of the Death Star, and this is actually where in the movie, the original Star Wars movie, do you remember where Luke Skywalker had to hit the, it was a thermal exhaust port with a proton torpedo, and this is where it was this is where he was actually flying, was up here, and it wasn't right here. See, this my videos are very instructive. I hope that you think that they're instructive. So now what we want to do is to label this thing. Okay, so now if we go over to here where this letter A is at, so I'm going to click on that. Now this is Calibri, and so this is the particular kind of font, and you can make that font anything that you want. But so I'm not even going to bother to change that, but this is very important. So this thing right here changes the font size. And so for example, if I was to type in the word Death Star, let's just see how big it would be. Okay, so you can't even read that. And so what I need to do is change this font so that it's something bigger. So let's change it to a 22 and then see if that helps anything. And then you'll notice also that it's doing it in red. So even that's too small. So now we need to make it even bigger. So let's go down here to a 36. Let's try that. See, this is important because when you make a copy of your picture and then you put that into your document, you want to make sure that people can read your captions on there. There we go. So you can make this anything that you want, but I'll just say Death Star. And so there is the let's say that this is the thing that we then want to insert. And if you didn't like red for that, then of course you're going to click back to black. So here is now your printing is going to be in black, but ours is going to be in red. So there's all sorts of different things that you can do with this, and I'm not going to go over anything else, but you can kind of play around with this and learn how to do things with it. So now I'm going to go over here, and let's say that I did not want to use the entire picture. So I'm going to grab it, and now let's say that I'm only going to use that much of the picture, and that's what's going to be inserted into my document. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to do a left click or right click on it, and I'm going to make a copy of it, or you could do a control P, control C for copy, but we're making a copy of this image, and now let's put it into Microsoft Excel. So you could put this into anything you want. You could put this into Microsoft Excel, you could put it into Microsoft Word, so anything that you want. And so I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to hit Control V for paste. Okay, so there is my picture, but you notice it's a little bit large for what I need. So now, and you can see that the word Death Star isn't even on there. So I need to make it smaller. So I'm going to click on the image and then go down to here, and then I'm going to make it smaller and then drag it over so now it fits on the piece of paper. So that just gives you an indication for what you can do with Microsoft Paint, and then how you can put things into it. So taking a snip, for example, from a video or a document on the internet, and then you can take that snip and then you could also put that into Microsoft Paint. So there is just a whole bunch of different things that you can do with it. And here I am again. So there's the completed document, and then of course if you wanted to, you could put a title on that down here if you want with it. So that's it for how to use Microsoft Paint, and until next time, goodbye.